Okay, I think that's we're away and we're ready to go. So yeah. Hey, Massgaster, Gasmaster, Massgaster, whatever moniker you prefer. Hey, Captain Andrew, how you doing? Oh, yesterday was immense. Yesterday was amazing. So anyway, that being said, today we're taking a step back. We're doing the small account challenge for today. So I've got to be a little bit more discerning with the stocks that I'm looking at. Right. Okay. So this is moving up again. This one moved up quite well yesterday. Date of it today, that's the first. Why is it not showing us? Pretty weird. Oh, that's a weekly, that's why. In the daily. I'm looking at the weekly, I'm thinking that doesn't look right. It's the daily I need. I'm an idiot. Okay, so starting today with $514.75. So go figure. I'm not saying this can be done, guys. I'm not saying this can be done, but we're going to give it a try. I'll attempt it. Well, let's have a look at the S&P 500, shall we? SPY. Okay, so slightly down on the day, not much. Like 17 base points, 17 beeps, or whatever you want to call it. No, I'm not having Calvis. Probably not. We'll see. I probably should remove the problem is with those penny stocks. I could probably take a move, take some of them. What I'm actually looking for is stocks kind of between $5 and $10 that I can get leverage on. Yeah, 500 and 5. No, Daniel, not 500. $514.75. The cents are important. No, I can't get leverage on anything under $5. So if I take a $2 stock, say it's a $2 stock, I've got $500. You know, I'm taking what, 250 shares. Now, a $2 stock. This is the math that's going around in my head. A $2 stock, if it moves 10%, it moves 20 cents. So if I'm taking 200 shares at 20 cents, I'm getting $40. After commissions and charges, I'm getting $30. So this is all things you've got to calculate. If you're trying to do a small account, and I've got to say, I've never done an account this small before, but if you're trying to do a small account, you've got to ask, is it worth it? You know, am I trying to pick up pennies in front of a steamroller, or you know, the risk versus reward? Whereas if I take the risk maybe a little bit higher, but I want to minimize the risk by the trade selections I take a $5 stock or a $6 stock. Let's just say I take a $6 stock and I take 500 shares or 300 shares even. The chances of a $6 stock moving 20 cents are much greater than a $2 stock moving 20 cents. You see what I mean? It's cheating, Daniel. Yeah, of course it is. You know what they say? You can please all the people some of the time. You can please some of the people all of the time, but you can't please all the people all the time. Well, I've already hit today's, so yesterday wasn't planned, wasn't anticipated, but I've already hit month's goal yesterday, so I can be a little bit more discerning with this challenge. I can be a little bit more focused. Is probably the best way of saying it. I'm going to make myself a cup of tea. So, anybody want one? Anybody? Some biscuits, maybe? You know, just a second. I was a bad guy yesterday evening. Got some of these pretzel sticks. I was dipping them in the jar of Nutella. It was nice. Reminded me of the choc dips I used to have when I was a kid. Right. Yesterday was chaos. Absolute mentality. Yesterday with the volatility. There was a lot of momentum in the markets yesterday, a hell of a lot of volatility. The big stock that I made my biggest ever trade on was GDC, and that moved up over 1,600%, 1,600% intraday. It started at 250, or it finished at 250 on Friday, and it went up to $44 yesterday. Unbelievable moves. I mean, you just can't anticipate those kind of moves. Let's hope we get some every day. Look, if I blow up the account, I blow up the account. I'm sorry. But it's worth a try. $500 to 15,000. That's the challenge, and it'd be done. I've seen someone on, I think it might be TikTok or YouTube or somewhere, where he traded, not trading stocks and shares. He actually traded items. He wanted a Tesla, and he started off with, I think something like $1 or whatever it was, something really cheap. Like a pen. I think he started off with a pen, I think it was. And he traded it for other things. And he ended up getting his Tesla. I think it took him about 90 days, trading one thing for another thing. And he traded the pen for like a packet of Post-it notes, traded a packet of Post-it notes for you know, the stapler, and he ended up getting just trading up each time. Traded something for a PS5, traded a PS5 for a scooter, traded the scooter. He ended up getting the Tesla from it. So basically, for the cost of a pen, he continued trading for 90 days and got himself a Tesla. Which one, Matty? Thursday or yesterday? Okay, so the meanderings of a fat guy on the internet. That's what you've got today. KWE, I'll take a look at it. West Microsystems. Don't know too much about them. Not huge volume at the moment. If there's a catalyst, let me see if there's a catalyst for you. The volume's not. It's a decent relative volume, and it's like 400,000 shares have been traded, or 300,000, and it normally does like 60,000, I think it is. So 325,000 shares traded so far this session. Normally does 60,000, so it's good relative volume. It's a smaller float. 3.85 million in the float. Now, is there a catalyst? So Quest receives notice of contract award for approximately 20 million over 5 years for software systems developed for Canadian Department of National Defence. That's a good catalyst. If it gets a bit of volume, could be interesting. Is Amazon up today? I doubt it. The market's down. Amazon's had its earnings last week, so I would imagine Amazon's down. Amazon is down. Amazon's slightly down today, 1/3%. The market's down, you see. It's not down huge amounts. I mean, if you look at Amazon on the daily, you'll see that it's actually not. It's not too bad. It's still in this upwards channel, really. So Amazon's not too. I'm long-term bullish on Amazon. I would say. Well, I hope so, because I'm in Amazon long-term. But I'm bullish on Amazon long-term. But it's a good company. I wouldn't worry too much about Amazon. Please. This was one of the ones that moved up big yesterday, wasn't it? It did, but it was a small, lower price stock. Now it's over $2. So this went up to 318 first thing this morning, and then it retraced, and it's just sideways. You look at this, the 5 minutes, a better indication. It's again the sideways. So please, I wouldn't say it's great volume. Reasonable volume. I wouldn't say great. Let me have a look at it. What is there an additional catalyst here? No big catalyst here. It's a 44 million in the float, negligible short interest. 44 million float, no real company specific catalyst that's driving any particular move. It's up 43%. but you tend to, you will get volatile moves with these, a lot of these kind of low cost stocks. But with a 43 million flow, the fact that it's got 4 million, it is good relative volume. Don't know why. 4.9 million shares traded, normally does 50,000. So we've got a lot of, particularly the Chinese sector, which this is one. A lot of them are moving just on sector strength or geographical strength. So the strength of the Chinese economy and the Chinese market. So they don't have company specifics, but we're getting a lot of these Chinese stocks are actually popping and they're moving big. They're getting good, well, abnormal relative volume, and they're moving up with good strength. No company specific news driving it, just kind of Chinese connection strength is what's driving it. I can take a look at hour for you. So hour loop. So hour loop. Again, not seeing any company specific news for hour loop either. Good relative volume though. I mean, hour loop normally does like 20,000 shares a day. It's like nobody trades it. It's a nothing stock. It's a garbage stock. So today it's done 9 million. It's recycled its flow like what, 6 times over. So it's got a float of 1.7 million. And it's already traded 9 million in shares. No company specific news that warrants that move, and it's up. It's up over 200%. So not sure why it's moving. Why no trades this morning? Because I've not seen the right setups on the right stocks yet. J-Spec. AI stocks for the long term, only Nvidia. Why does the price drop below your stop sometimes when it doesn't trigger the stop? So the price doesn't, trader one, is the swift answer. It was a good question. Sometimes you'll see the price drops below the actual trigger price. But if nobody takes the, what a stop loss actually is a market order, and it is based on, it's selling on the ask. So if the ask doesn't come down to the, so what you'll get is you get a trigger, as the bid hits that level, you'll get a trigger. And as the ask comes down to that level, it should then start selling. You may start getting some selling in between the spreads, but if you've got wide spreads, that's why you might get the price action. Looks like it goes below your stop before you get stopped out, because the bid actually does, but the actual transaction price doesn't. That's why the price drops below the stop sometimes, but doesn't necessarily trigger it. And that happened yesterday. Morning, Arampo. Why isn't the stop activated on the bid? Because people are selling on the bid. No, so people are buying. You're selling on the, yeah. So they just isn't. You're not allowed. Bloody fly doing the backstroke in my cup of tea. Out of order. Morning, Julio. That's what I'm in at the moment. I've got $514.75. That's my starting position. It gives me just over $3,000. $3,085 is the buying power that I have. Up to. That's not what. So, for example, if I was trading hour, there's no leverage on our, so I wouldn't trade it. A $5 stock with no leverage, it's not worth me trading it. Well, the average volume is based on the last 100 days or so, but I can take a look. So currently, there's no volume on New Power, and it is a recent IPO. So this had a big, massive volume day a few weeks ago. It actually had a bigger volume day on the 27th. But this had 28 million shares on the 27th and didn't really go anywhere. Had another big day on the 18 million shares traded on the 28th and didn't really go anywhere. So New Power, it's only been trading for a little over a week, like 2 weeks or whatever it is. So just like 2 weeks. So average volume is a little bit skew with. I would wait for it to settle before you start worrying about average volume. But at the moment, average volume over the last couple of weeks, since it IPO'd, the average volume daily is 9 million. Part 2. It is. It's too new. Well, the dog's snoring again. So what you won't see me doing is being as active trading as I am with the main account, because whilst I will be looking to take a trade on our here on the main account, if this breaks 550, I'll be looking for it to retest 580. The spreads are reasonably good spreads, for kind of like 2-3 cents. So if this broke 550, I would look for it to test 580 and potentially break a new higher session. It's a nice little flag setup right now on our loop, but I wouldn't be able to trade this. Well, I can trade it, but I based on the size of the account, I get like 90 shares. So with commissions and fees, if I just to do a full in, full out, then my 90 shares, what, 10 bucks in fees and charges straight away. So I'd need at least 20 bucks just to be profitable, just to make it worthwhile getting in there. And with let's just say I was able to take 100 shares, it would have to move 20 cents. The average true range at the moment is 33. So I suppose there's a possibility there. There is. It's just I was able to take bigger size on a different stock, like Legion, for example. That moves back up. You need to get out more, MK. The 5,000% challenge. How'd you make that out? 5,000%. Morning, Melon. Morning, Neith. Yeah, this is going to retest the highs here. So I would have got in there at 550 if I was trading my other account. And the goal here would have been at least 575, so we're looking for 25 cents. Morning, Archer. We're in at 550. I would have to set my up there at 525. 25 cents up, 25 cents down. I hope you're not trading on an... Please tell me you're not trading on an iPad, Neith. A MacBook I can tolerate. An iPad, no. Yeah, I would have got stopped out on that one. Straight away, I would have been... I'm glad I didn't try and trade that. Straight away, I would have been 25 cents down. $25 down, even. And that would have took me below the 500 and removed all my leverage. So, which is why I've got to be absolutely 100% sure. Whereas in the main account, I would have said, okay, well, screw that. It didn't go where I wanted it to. I'd double down at $5 and look for the whole dollar bounce. I don't have that luxury with the small account. I probably would have taken 5,000 shares at 550 and doubled down at $5 for a move back up, and then started taking profit at 530 or whatever. No, that's fine, Neith. No, that's okay. iPad, put your Benzinga on the iPad, put your chat rooms and stuff on the iPad. Don't try and, I wouldn't try and, unless you've got a mouse connected to it and it helps you with it, but it's the platforms that you're able to use on an iPad are probably not great for day trading. Sure, talk dog. What's the best way in and out of stock with big spreads, Richard? Market orders. Market order. If you're trying to get in with limit orders, you're going to have to wait for. You're probably going to get multiple fills or partial fills or no fills at all. So if you wanted to get in relatively quickly with widespread stocks, volatile stocks with a widespread, use market orders. That's the best way in and out. And just size down as well. I mean, yesterday I was quite aggressive yesterday. I was prepared. I already built up a nice little cushion. I was 19,000 before I even traded the what was the other one I traded, and I got 13,000 out of, and that was a nice trade. So I managed to get 30,000 up before I went in big size with GDC. So I could afford to risk like 15 cents because the spreads were like 70 cents. I think 110, $1 a share or something like that. So if I went in with 5,000 shares, I could afford to lose $3. So I was able to be a bit more aggressive with that. The average true range was like 240, I think, at one stage, and I commented on that on the recording. That did come down. It did come down. Where is GDC today? Let's have a quick look. It's up 18s. Went up to 44 yesterday. So let's have a look at where that is on the 15-minute chart. So this move up, I missed the majority of this move up, but managed to get the pops, and then I caught this move up here. So huge volatility on this yesterday. $2.50 stock on Friday. You don't see many of these kind of moves, and we've seen two in as many days. Top Financial and this one in as many days. But yesterday we had a few stocks moving over like 200-300%. We had a whole bunch of stocks moving up big. Leju moved big. So Leju yesterday started $1.80, and it moved up to $9.84. So for less than a $2 stock to go up to almost $10, I mean, that's like what, 400%, nearly 500%. Smaller size, Neith. Yes, it does, MK. Yes, it does. I'm not trading top. Trade on one. I'm not trading top. No, it's you can't. I can't trade top with a small account. I can't. What's the price on Top Financial now? $58. $55. Sorry. So Top Financial is $55. What am I going to do? Take 10 shares? No, 8 shares? Come on. Yeah, cheers, Alistair. Yeah, so Neith, if I was going to be trading GDC without the cushion that I had, I couldn't afford to be as aggressive. Whilst the opportunity was still there, scaling in is probably the order of the day with that. You go in with smaller size and get and build and help build up the cushion. And once you've got up there, you can be a bit more aggressive at the top end. I don't know trade on one. I've not tried to trade it. I looked at it yesterday, and it was I wasn't going to trade it. It was like 250% margin equity requirement. So whilst it's currently $55, I would need 100. Let's say it's $50. I'll round it down to $50. $50 stock, I would need $125 in order to trade one share. They're trying to price you out of it. They trade on one. I don't know. I've not even tried to trade it. So I looked at the margin requirements on it yesterday. I've not looked at it at all today. I just see it on the scanners there. There's nobody. There's no volume. It's like 86,000 shares as well on the volume. So there's no point even looking at it. My goodness. Faraday is down at 17 cents. I was trading that not long. Let me just have a look at Faraday for a moment. I've just seen it breaking highs here. So Faraday, this was up at... I remember trading this not too long ago. Last summer. $7 stock. Yeah, I remember trading this. And I went from last July. It went from kind of a $3 stock to a $6 stock, and then it continued the following day. But yeah, I mean, it went up to $7.85 at the peak. I remember trading. Let's look at it. And this is what I'm saying to you guys. The majority of these stocks are just garbage. They're not good stocks at all. I'm not saying I won't, Daniel. If there's good momentum and it looks sound, then why not? But it's unlikely. I mean, if I see something that's got a good, if it meets all the criteria, then fine. And one of the criteria is that it's over $2. I'm not changing my criteria for just because it's on a small account. But I'm unlikely to trade between 2 and 5 until I've actually built up a little bit of equity. Hey Amanda, how are you today? There's an IPO today, by the way. It's been priced, but it's not yet listed. So the ticker GODNU. It's GODN and GODNU, but GODNU is the one that looks to be going live first. So this one over the VWAP could be interesting. We'll see. Absolutely buy the dip. Get green, get to gold, get out. I've actually not even set myself any daily goals today for this challenge. I set an ultimate goal, which is like 15,000, but I've not set a daily goal. Maybe I should do that. I can take a look at it for you. Lighting education. So this is another one that popped up yesterday from like a couple of cents. This was a $5 stock back in August, by the way. But this is just moving up on in sympathy with the rest of the Chinese market. So we're getting a lot of these stocks that are moving up. I'm not saying don't trade them. I'm saying I don't trust them without a catalyst. But we've seen over the last few days how big they can move. With BAOS moved huge amounts. We had Lilu moved up. Liju moved up yesterday, moving up again today. We had a whole bunch of these Chinese affiliated stocks that are just going to the moon at the moment. Trade on one, it's not real until I withdraw it, and by that time the adrenaline's worn off. So that's the best way of doing it. I mean, the psychology of losing is a very real thing, but you're absolutely right to highlight the psychology of winning is also a real thing as well. So the way I deal with losing is the same way I deal with winning. It's not real until you try and withdraw it. It's just numbers on a screen, and if you can kind of rejoice in the moment that you get the endorphin rush. Great, that's all well and good, but then the day after it's you start again from fresh. Big wins are usually followed by big losses, and vice versa. If I was doing the kind of numbers I've done this last week on a regular basis, I probably would become a bit obnoxious. Not that I'm not obnoxious already. Shut up, Alistair. Before you even say anything. If I was doing six figures daily with, you know, without really breaking a sweat, then I would be a really obnoxious Jordan Belfort Mark II, probably. But I'm not, so I'm not. Again, Alistair, don't say a word. Just broke morning highs. Neo, if they get out of China, maybe they'll be okay. I just think a lot of these EV manufacturers are probably, they're not going to survive. Neo's got some good technology, but probably will end up getting bought up by one of the big companies. If they get out of China, a lot of Chinese companies, a lot of Chinese brands are owned by or partially owned by the state. The whole CCP, as you know, it's part of the requirement to have a business in China is that you need to have CCP members on the board, and you also need to offer up some of the proceeds or profits to the CCP. But the Neo, decent. They've got a nice supercar, decent technology. Just very, I don't see them being able to compete with the big boys once the EV sector becomes mainstream. I did the month's target in a day yesterday, Alistair. First day today, Matty. First day today, Matt. Yeah, I'm just looking at BOAS at the moment, Merlin. The spreads are a dollar spread at the moment. So I was looking at this and I thought if the spreads are like 5-6 cents, that might be interesting. But the spreads are as much as a dollar. Currently 25 cents, but the range it's going to break highs again. Thought maybe if I take 100 shares, I could. It goes a dollar spread with 100 shares and down $100. Excuse me. $500, Matty. What cars? I only need one car. I drive a Volvo. Got an S80. I know, Matt. I know. Actually, no, it's more than that. It's 514 and 75 cents. So it's going to be interesting. So leads you below the VWAP, so probably not something, it just doesn't have the volume or the follow through right now, but there's quite a lot of opportunity here. This is going to kill me. I like being active as a trader. This is going to kill me. Incredible month. It's only the second of the month, Ed. And you're not wrong. And you're not wrong. Well, good luck with the London session there, Matty. Are you still doing the Forex? I don't know where you would want me to put that there. It's not like we've got loads of space on the screen, Alistair, but I'll look at it next time I'm setting up. When I'm setting up tomorrow, maybe. I don't exactly have a lot of space. It's a nice motor, flip jug. I prefer DAS. It's all about, but it's just personal preference there, MK. Just personal preference. Sterling's a good platform. I like Sterling as well, but I prefer DAS. It's just that's just it's the platform that I got comfortable with. I find it just suits me better. So hour pulling back. So I was our loop pulling back below the VWAP now. So I'm glad I didn't take the bounce at $5. Didn't get back up to 5.25. So I'd have been holding bags there with this one. I'd have cut it for a loss actually, but kind of. It's nice to be wrong and it cost and it not actually cost me anything for a change. Don't worry about it, Melon. I'm always wrong. But it's up over the profit line there at least. So that's at what 1680s now. So what year is 2018 flip jug? Cream. Yeah, I don't know. The white, it gets dirty easily, particularly when you've got a dog. I didn't have the dog when I got it, but I do now. So, and I didn't know, and I didn't buy it brand new either. It was about 18 months old when I got it. Would you like to come and drive it, Calvus? I'm not telling you my license plate number. Come on. Yeah, she's coming with me. I'll probably be over there already, but for trying to get her sorted, it's difficult trying to get. That's the problem that I've been having with her. Is trying to get someone. I finally found someone that's going to take her for me. She's too big to carry in the cabin. She won't go in the hold because she's too big, so she has to go as cargo. A lot of airlines won't take it because she's the snub nose breed, and they can have difficulties flying. So you have to get a specialist carrier, and it's a whole pain in the hole. It really is. So there's quite a lot of good movers this morning that pulled back. Just putting that out there. We've got 10 minutes before the bell. Quite a lot of movers have pulled back, but we saw that yesterday, and I think again on Friday. A lot of the big movers pre-market pulled back. So we wait for the right opportunity. This is going to be a real pain for me. It's going to be difficult for me because you all know I'm not as patient as I should be with a lot of these moves. I'm just waiting for that one stock. If I have to wait all day, it's going to be a problem. I know it is. Taking boredom trades is probably my biggest vice when it comes to trading, and just sitting on my hands waiting for that right trade. There's no setups right now that I would say it's A+ for sure, but there's time yet. Oh yeah, absolutely trade on one. So days like yesterday were like, it was like that all the time. When you used to, back in 2020, 2021, the bull market, every other day you had a parabolic mover, and not just one, but you'd have multiple stocks that were going parabolic, and they wouldn't just go parabolic in like at the same time. They would stagger themselves across the day. So it was very much like yesterday, very much like you know, the opportunity, the volatility. And if the volatility continues, great, because with volatility comes the opportunity. You get the range across the moves, and that's what we profit from. Second biggest day ever, Andrew. I might do, okay, but I think trading my main account, we'll see how I'm feeling, because one of the reasons of just taking a step back is I've been feeling it mentally, and just taking a step back, it should help me just kind of regroup, not trade as much, just look for the right setup. If I can do that, maybe without actually taking time off, continue trading, but without taking time off, and just improve my discipline. Looking for the right setups, so my patience, my discipline, get back to basics with the strategy, and trading on the small account is going to do that. I don't have the luxury of being aggressive with the small account unless the setup permits me to do so. So yeah, I think I probably will, maybe at least a week or two, I won't be trading the main account at the same time. I might be trading, I will look at earnings, for example. So some of these higher cap stocks, I might look at the earnings after hours, and I'll trade the main account there and just keep it to that. So rather than trading them at the same time, I'll trade one or the other. I don't think so, Owen. I'm starting with $500. Hey, well, you know, stranger things have happened, I guess. So, okay, I'll take that. On $500. So, for those of you on the other chat, on the other stream, Owen's just said he's feeling another 100k day for me today. I'm thinking, okay, well, on $500 to make 100k, I'll take that. I'll take that in a heartbeat, but highly unlikely. I've probably got a better chance of winning the Euro Millions tonight, and I've not even bought a ticket. 100,000 rupees. 100k Zimbabwean. It is T, yes, Glorious. I'm trading one, yeah. Look, there's more in my life than just I've got a lot of things going on at the moment, and I put myself under a lot of pressure from the trading perspective. So yeah, I've just been feeling it mentally. I've just been mentally drained this last I'd say probably 6 to 8 weeks. So I just needed to, you know, take a little bit of a new approach. Yeah, I'll take a look at that. Everybody wants to take a look at it. Ooh, over $2. Nice break at kind of 185 would have been nice there. Lead you. Moive, yeah, it's making a fantastic Moive there, Daniel. Ledgy's making a fantastic Moive as well. Moive. If this can get over the VWAP, then great. VWAP currently at 720. Again, you're wanting the right setup. So if you're going long, ideally you want it to be trending. The trend is your friend. You'll hear that across the board. So if you're a momentum trader, that's fine. You can actually get counter trending, something moving down, but you get the momentum switch, pivots, and you get a bounce, and you can trade the bounce. That's fine. You trade the momentum. But for more sustainable moves, you want to be trading the trend. So you want things trending upwards. You want them to be over the VWAP. The VWAP is a very powerful indicator. It's a lagging indicator, granted, but it's a great indicator of intraday trend. But if you got stocks that are trading above the VWAP, all the price action is above the VWAP, then it's a good indication that it's in a bullish direction, it's moving upwards. If they're trading below, then it's a good indication it's moving downwards. Now, if you're trading below and you want a safe short bet, then you want to make sure that it's below the VWAP. And say for long bet, it needs to be above the VWAP. Okay, let's watch for action. Yeah, I was down at $4 now. My goodness, GDC halted to the downside from yesterday. Oh, and might get a bounce on $4, by the way. Yeah, so Lexa is halted. Didn't move very far. Halted to the upside. And that, again, that's another thing that you've got to be wary of with regards to these lower price stocks. The percentage move before it gets halted is going to impact your potential for profits, which is why it's better to look for a slightly higher price stock that you can get leverage to trade it. because the moves are going to be, the range is going to be bigger. So you're going to have a bigger move before you get halted. I know you corrected it. I'm just having a laugh with you, Daniel. Typos, it's okay to have typos. You know, we're all intelligent people. We can read through the typo. My goodness. The S&P 500 decided to vomit. Look at that. That's not a good sign for today. A lot of the other larger cap stocks will be following suit with that. E2 halted the upside. That gets over $5, which is the pre-market high. Be interesting. That's halted to the downside. Gin Medical. Yeah, so our now making move back towards $5. When's the US going to crash? I don't think you'll see a crash, right? Barring unforeseen circumstances, i.e., terrorist attack or global pandemic type circumstances, I don't think you're going to see a major crash in the short term. However, if the BRICS alliance continues to gather momentum, you could see a massive dip begin in the summer as the US dollar starts to lose its power as the global hedge, the default currency. We got bounce. No, that's not halted. It just looks halted. Is it halted? It's just not moving. Yeah, it's halted. So Bosheng Media halted to the upside. Not quite broke the pre-market highs. That's Bosheng Media. SNTG was a big mover yesterday for us. We traded it nicely. Moving up. Yeah, not great volume today. Not great volume at all today. I don't think, will the USA lose the reserve currency status? I don't think it's a case of will it, it's a case of when it will, for me. So, pre-market high still not broken. This will resume in 5 minutes. It's a 10-minute halt. Oh my goodness, GDC halted to the downside twice. So vomit into a halt, double vomit, another halt. That's like me on a Friday night after too much tequila, I'm telling you. Actually, I don't drink tequila that much. And tequila doesn't really bother me that much. Yeah, it should resume at 9:40 and 40 seconds. So we're getting higher lows, which is a good thing. So now we're getting higher highs. Needs to break key level there with the $5. Needs to break that $5 key level and hold. Manpower, new highs. That was a big halt up. E2 open parent holdings. Well, not great volume. Well, that was a big gap up on resumption. I think the problem there that you've got, Mongo, is that the US currency used to be backed by gold, which is what the whole BRICS alliance is trying to do now, gold and precious metals. And US currency, Fort Knox used to be full of gold. They used to show pictures regularly of the whole hordes of gold that was locked in Fort Knox, and which is the Fed's reserve funding. And we halted on Legiu. That's the one I was really watching. Yes, halted. So 38, just. The fact that they're just printing money on a whim. It's fabric. The US dollars now, it's fabrication. It's not underpinned by gold or anything really. It's just fabrication. They print money whenever they want, and it's basically means that if people don't use the US dollar to buy oil, and that's why they call it the petrodollar, then the US dollar's knackered. It's absolutely screwed. It's no longer underpinned by gold. It's underpinned by oil, which is the black gold, if you will. And as people move away from oil, or oil moves away from the dollar, then the dollar loses its potency and ceases to be the global reserve. And the likelihood is that the euro, even not really wanting to be, will end up being the global reserve, because it's one of the largest trading blocks. I can't see the yuan becoming a global reserve currency. Just nobody uses it outside of China, whereas the euro is used in more countries than any other currency other than the dollar. That's my opinion. That's just the opinions that's just the meanderings of a fat guy on the internet. So Turks is looking nice. Turks can get over $5. Might be worth trading. Watching Legiu, I'm watching Turks, I'm watching Wafu, E2. Is that still moving? Alex, let's have a look. Another halt. The Li Jiang Education holding. So this is halted it pretty much out of the blocks. It's in, that was a 10-minute halt. It's resumed. It gapped up, pulled back 10 cents, and then moved back up, and it's now 244 halt level. It's looking like another 10 cent, well, 6 cent move back up. 10 cent gap up. So like I've got 250 only, 255 on the resumption numbers. So it looks like it's going to gap up slightly. Let's see. Yeah, I'm watching Turks. It's pulling back from the highs. It went up to 480, got rejected. If 480 gets up to $5, if Turks gets up to $5, it's very much of interest. Now this should resume in about 30 seconds, which is why I'm watching it. Fractional shares. Okay, what I'll do is I'll swap it for. There you go. It's there. You can see it. You can see it there. I'll put it on one of the 4 screens down there, Vols. LXEH. Oh, this ain't going to resume either. So LXEH should resume at 45 and 52 seconds, unless it's a 10-minute halt. I can't tell whether it's a 10-minute halt or not. I've got it on the main screen here, but I'm watching Turks. So you can continue watching that on the smaller screen there, Volts, no problem. And I see this break and hold $5. Looking for $30 here. 10 cents. There we go, $50. That's a fantastic first trade for a small account. I've just made 10% on my first trade. So there you go. And that's at halt level. Let me have a look. I could have held that, but it's about locking some green in. Montage. I've got the halt level 256 right now. 256 resumption. Ah, dang. Missed it. That's okay. Leads you. I was looking for that one. I ideally would have liked to have got in at the break of 6 here. 300 shares, break of 6. I'd have been double my account already. But look, there's opportunity. There's opportunity. So Alexa just resumed. Li Jiang Education just resumed. It gapped up, pulled back a little bit, filled the gap, halt down. Not quite halted yet. Still some trades going through. Level 2 stacked on this. Still some trades going through. Yeah, Leeds's halted, the Cal. I just had a look at that, up at 750. That would have been a nice one to get in. This resumption is looking at, it's 240. I'm looking at a resumption of 226, so a significant gap down. Did I say I'm using market orders to get in and out? No, I'm actually using limit orders at the moment. At this level, with a small account, market orders aren't essential because I'm not going to be taking. I'm not going to be taking trades with stocks with massive spreads because with the spread comes risk. No, it's hemorrhaging. I mean, look at GDC today. It's third halt in a row, and it's a big. These are big halts as well. You know, these are long halts. So this one was at 9:30, pretty much on open. Then that was a 5-minute halt. Then it was a 10-minute halt. For 5 minutes, 10 minutes. This is probably going to be another 10 minutes. That's a big down level. So I'm going to BAOS is still looking good. So I'm calling these out. Whilst I'm not trading them, I'm still calling them out. You by all means, you know, fill your boots, guys, if you want to. I'm not giving you stock picks or signals, but I am calling out the momentum. So it's a lot of these I would have probably been stuck in halts with right now. I mean, Leju definitely I would have been watching that for the break of $6, but if I had on my main account, I'd have been in that. Let's have a look at Leju Holdings. This should resume in a little over a minute. Turks, Tianruzhang. Sorry if I'm butchering the pronunciation. I apologize. But if you're going to get offended and try and cancel me, screw you. So this should resume in a minute. We've got BAOS, the cover BAOS. BAOS is Baoshang Media. This should resume in about 10 seconds. 10-12 seconds. In about 20 seconds there, Vols. I want to see where this gap's up to because it's looking like a huge, not a huge gap up, so continuation maybe. But this should resume it in approximately 15 seconds. That's a hard flush down too. Leju resumed. A lot of flushes here. I'm glad I didn't take any trades. Wait for the pullback. Everything's pulling back right now. Let it pull back. Give you a setup. I wanted to lock in some profits, Willy Wonka. So, small account, the key is lock in the profits. I made 10%. I'm glad you did as well, Neith. So the key is what are you looking for out of a trade? Don't be annoyed if you don't get the full move. If you take profits too soon, and I say too soon, so I look for 10 cents. So I think I got into Turks at 508 and I was looking for a minimum of 10 cents. So I got into the break of $5, filled at 508, and I wanted 10 cents. So I thought if I can get more than 10 cents, great. And I got out as it broke 525. It broke the $0.25. I thought, you've got the $0.25 resistance as well. I'm just going to lock in the gains. I can always get back in. But when I looked to get back in, it hit the halt level. So that's why I didn't get back in. And I'm glad I didn't, because if I had, that would have pulled all the way back to very, very quickly. So let's look at Turks for a second. I'm glad I actually took the profits because as this moved up it quickly into that halt, if I'd been in the halt or I got back in there, it would have flushed down and kind of wiped out the profits. So I got in here at 508 and I took profits here when it started to stall at 530, and I got filled at 525. So, you know, it's about locking in profits and just securing gains. I mean, 10% on your first trade of the challenge. If I can make 10% a day, I'll have this challenge locked up by the end of the month. Small account. It's not about taking big unnecessary risks and holding too long. You've got to balance the longer you're in a position, you're introducing that more risk. There is risk associated with the length of time that you're in a position. You've got to take that into account as well. Oh, I didn't check the halt levels. Halt level is still 14. I got in there for the break of high of day. When did I start the challenge? Today's day one there, Jason. We're halted. So we're in this now, and it looks like I'm on a $500 challenge. It looks like I'm 1,300 unrealized down. That's because it's just not showing data, but that's not the case. But yeah, it better not gap down. That's all I'm saying. And it could. This might be a long halt. So Cabana making moves up. So let's have a look at this. This resumes at 9:59. Cabana made a pop up. Do halt levels change your technique? I don't know what you mean by that. Yeah, there is no the data is not showing there, Daniel. I've not got a resumption price for Ledge. Just as long as it's not a big gap down. I can't afford a big gap down. Is quite simply. I've got 300 shares. Small gap down, maybe. Absolutely. Volatile and dangerous. Trading is dangerous. It's a risky game. So don't do it if you can't afford it. Simple. Varna. Turks did make a move back up, but then double topped. So curled back up. It's likely to continue curling back up. That pre-market high is where it got rejected at previously. So just should be paying attention to that. Will I get out before Halt? I'm in a Halt right now, Daryl. So I'm locked in to lead you right now. And this is halted. So this should resume at 9:59 and 38. So in about 90 seconds, I'll just have a quick biology break and I'll be back in a second. So we've got about 30 seconds now. This might be a 10-minute halt though, that's the problem. Yeah, it looks like this is a 10-minute halt. So 10:04. Back at 10:04. How could you tell it might be a 10-minute halt? Because yeah, there you go. I did nothing. This challenge is impossible. It's got liquidated. There you go, guys. $500 challenge lasted one day. Just got liquidated. Look. We'll try again. We'll try again. Go again. Look, it's $500. Well, it's not even $500. It's $300 or whatever it is. So it's not a big deal. But it just goes to show how difficult it is. Excuse me. Just goes to show how difficult it is to trade on a small account. to grow it. So we made 10% with our first trade and then got locked in a halt. That gap down, yeah, it's the gap down. It's always the risk you take if you're going to allow yourself to get locked into a volatility halt. That gap down was just painful. So look, I'm going to have to refresh the account and we'll start again tomorrow. Aren't I glad that wasn't my normal size? No, actually, if that was my normal size, I probably would have tried to trade my way out of this. And when you've got the money in reserve, then you can essentially look for a bounce or something, because this looks, again, there's no resumption on this, and that was always a bit of a worry. Once it halted, when there's no resumption, I'm always a little bit worried. Another 100 another 100k day. I don't think so, Calvis, but we'll see. We'll try again. We'll try again tomorrow. I'll have to transfer some. What time is it now? I'll transfer some money across. They should be able to facilitate me transferring from one account to the other, so I should be able to do it again tomorrow. But if not, it'll be Thursday, and we'll start again on Thursday. No, it absolutely is. But this is the point that I'm making. This is the whole point. If somebody that's consistently profitable like me can't do a $500 account challenge, then what the hell has a novice got? What the hell chance has a novice got to do it? It's going to be difficult. So, in theory, I should have just walked away after being 10% up, locked it down, walked away. But that's not me. That's just not my style. So, and Turks, funnily enough, is now... Turks is halted to the upside. So this is the one that we traded originally. And look at this, lovely W shape, double bottom shape. So we got in here at 508. If we just held that position, we would have gone to a low of 479. We took 300 shares so far. So what's that? 30 cents. 300 shares, so 90. So we would have gone 90 unrealized, but it's now 632. So we would have made like 400 bucks or whatever. Resumption on Turks. What am I seeing? $6. So it's going to gap down. Vols. It's not so much the volatility of the result, because if it's moving up, if it gaps up and continues really volatile, if it just gaps up and moves up into another halt, you don't mind doing that if you're long. Same way as if it gaps down and continues selling off, if you're shorting it, you don't mind it doing that. The volatility, we want volatility. The more volatility, the better, quite frankly. I definitely could have lost 20k on it, that's for sure. I could have ended up like 20k down, Daryl. It wouldn't be the first time. You know, I've come back from worse situations from that. So if I'd gone in for, instead of 300, if I'd gone in for like 5,000, I'd be probably sat here about 6 grand down, stuck in a halt. Yeah, because that's a good $1.50 move down from the man. It's just resumed. So let's have a look. Now this. So it's just resumed. Resumption on Turks if it gaps down to $6. I hope you're not in that one. Good luck today, Greg. So it's no good today, mate. We just blew up the account live on air. So Small account. I'm doing the small account today, Gregster. So I need to caveat that. So the small account, we got caught in a halt and it gapped down. Halt upwards and it gapped down on this stock. So we got in for the break of highs here, the move up, and you can see it gapped down. We had like 300 shares in it, and we lost a whole $1.50 almost. So, and it's continuing to sell off. So that's the risk you take. It's a risky game. Have I ever done a small account challenge? But not at this level. This is a micro account there, MK. I did a small account challenge in January. This is the fourth small account challenge I've done. First time I did one was February last year, and I took a $5,000 account, and I was able to trade that up to where did we finish? It was 75 or 74? I can't remember off the top of my head. Like 74,000 in net profits. I think we took it up to 79,000 where we finished. So that was my first small account challenge, and we did that in a month, across the month of February. Then I did a $2,500, it's $2,000 2-week challenge in August, and I took it from like $2,000 up to $12,000 in 2 weeks. And then I did a small account challenge in January. We're at $2,500, just under $2,500, and took it on the 17th of January to the end of March, and we took that from 2.5 to 30. Everybody's been asking for this micro account, like $1,000 or $5. So what I'll do is I'll try $500 again, one more time. And if I can't do a 500, I'll knock it on the head, and we'll do a $1,000 account challenge. I think, you know, we'll see. But there's an opportunity there for sure. How my knees are killing me. This is why I need to move, because my arthritis is absolutely killing me. The Turks now, again, look at this. So this halted up, gap down, pulled down before then moving back up again. So this is like the first one that we were in. So if we just held this position, because we got in this at 508, would be $2 up. So with 300 shares, we'd be like $600 up. We'll double the account if we stayed in this. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. And I don't know why I've got these lines here. Risk management kind of goes out of the window when it gaps down a whole dollar there, Julio. That's the problem with it. Yeah, the regional banks are all suffering. Now, the whole point of me trying to do this is growing it as quickly as possible. The 500. So we will do a restart. It'd be nice to do a trade recap later, but we'll do a restart. I think tomorrow I'll do a trade recap, and later on the channel. I'm not going to be trading the main account today. I'm going to take the dog for a walk. Well, it's a beautiful day out. But risk management, if you're going to be trading a without any time limits, a $500 account, you want to be looking at 5% daily. It's $25 start off with, and the reason it needs to be $25 because you commission that's per trade per day. One trade a day is usually the way to deal with a small account. But you take the $25, walk away. It's $25 is going to cover the cost of your it's going to cover the cost of your fees and charges. Total brain fart, I don't know why. It's going to cover the cost of your fees and charges. So you're probably going to end up with one trade, $10, $12 in fees and charges on top of that. So you're going to be like 50% of your thing will disappear in fees and charges on a small account. So you tend to find that with a smaller account, your percentage gains are heavily impacted by fees and charges, commissions and charges. So well, that's going to be an easy trade recap tonight, isn't it? And do you know what? I'll probably get more viewers to a video that says I blew up my account as a headline than I will for any other video that I put out there. Morbid bunch you lot are. Guys, do me a favor. Hit that thumbs up button. Press that thumbs up button. It's just gonna help me out. If you've not done it yet, do it now. Yes, I did finish The Mandalorian, Calvus. That final scene with the Mandalorians all flying out of the sky together, it just reminded me of Flash Gordon, you know, with the Hawkmen and Brian Blessed. Yeah, it just reminded me. I think it was a homage to Flash Gordon. It smacked of that scene in Flash Gordon with Brian Blessed coming out the sky with all the Hawkmen. But if you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm sorry. If you've never seen Flash Gordon, go and watch it. It's a classic. It's not really stood the test of time in terms of special effects, but it was what, 1974 or 5 or something like that. That's a good question. When was Flash Gordon released? Guys, come on, let's get that like count up. Hit that thumbs up button. Less than half of you have hit that thumbs up button. And quite frankly, that's embarrassing. Ming the Merciless. You've never watched Flash Gordon, Calvus? Come on. You really need to. You've never lived. I also watched Flesh Gordon, but that's a completely different. That's a completely different conversation. I am, yeah. So the point there, MK, is that. MK, the point there is you need a broker that is not going to implement the PDT rule, and for a small account, and there's not many that will allow you to have a $500 trade with Tripitaka, the first case of transsexuality ever on TV. The woman played a boy, the monk. Tripitaka. Yeah, I watched Monkey. They did a reboot of it, actually. The Incredible Journey, it's called. Yes, it can. GDC, it potentially could. So you've got halted there, and this could move back up. Not saying it will, but it could. It's below the VWAP. You've got resumption here at over $12 resumption. This is going to gap up, and then that could be the momentum it needs to take this higher. What's going on with PacWest? Let's have a look. Oh dear, these regional banks are all failing. This could have a knock-on effect. So what about Western Alliance failing as well? What about Schwab? Schwab's down. Oh my goodness, the banking sector is in turmoil. So all these, any other losers? Let's have a quick look at the losers on the day. So GDC, huge amounts up, so I don't mind GDC pulling back, that being the biggest loser. Chegg. So who was saying something about Chegg vomited last night? FRC delisted, yes, because it's no longer they got acquired by JPM. Yeah, bad results, terrible results for Chegg. So Chegg, look at that, terrible results last night on Chegg. But look, it is what it is. But let's see what else is selling off. So Community Health, Gin Medical, PacWest, Tantec, JX Lux Ventures, Trevor. So a lot of these are big ones that you could have shorted yesterday when they were extreme. They made big moves up yesterday, and you short them, like the likes of GDC and Gin Medical. These Chinese stocks, and Lending Tree, PacWest. So PacWest is in there twice. Western Alliance, Metropolitan Bank, that's failing as well. MCB. We're having another bank run. Anything else? Credit acceptance. Yeah, a lot of these banks just not doing anything. They're selling off hard, a lot of these regional banks. So guys, make sure that you've not got your money in one single bank. That's what I would say. Yentl. Why was Brian Blessed in Yentl? Oh no, I know what you're talking about, Yentl. That was the Norse woman who was. Well, I mean, no, Klaatu. I was obviously being a little bit facetious, because in Monkey Magic, the boy Tripitaka was played by a woman. I think it's Chinese. Yeah, I think it's a Chinese series from the 70s, martial arts and stuff. No, Powell's definitely going to raise the interest rates for sure. But if we have another bank fail this week, the decision's already made. The 0.25%, it's going to be raised. There's no doubt about it. The decision's already been made. How much you've been risking when you first started? So yeah, I would be risking probably about between 10 and 15% of my equity position, which is not what you should be doing. The goal when I first, not so much when I first started, but also with the small account challenge, was always 5% incrementally daily. So the mistake I already made today was going after more when I've made 10%. You hear me saying on a daily basis, Western Alliance resumed and then halted straight away. PacWest resumed and then halted straight away. So let's have a look at these banks. So Western Alliance, it resumed, then halted down into another halt. PacWest did exactly the same thing. Resumption, gap down into another halt. So these banks are suffering. I'm glad I don't have my money with them. They're clearly not yet done tanking. I should have kept should have kept my short position on Western Alliance when it was up at 30. FRC up at 30. I remember trading that when they got the initial JPM bailout, and it went up to like 40. I should have taken a short position then. Coulda, woulda, coulda. Yeah, so then this was back up at 40. Could have shorted it. It's shortable. Hard to borrow, but and it's on the short sale restrictions. But there you go. So the banks are having a torrid time of it, and GDC did make a little bit of a bounce, but GDC long halt, that was, it's halted to the downside now. So 12 to, that's a 10-minute halt. It's the halt to the upside, 10 minutes, it gapped up and pulled down. It's now testing $11 GDC. Put this in mind. Anybody thinking that this is hemorrhaging? This is a $2.50 stock last Friday, so it's still up a huge amount from last Friday. It's just it went up 1,600% yesterday. Went up to $44 intraday from $2.50, which is why I was able to make so much. Where do you see hard to borrow shares on the montage trade on one? It's next to your level up, level down. If you there's a little it should say S or whatever next to your level up, level down, and it should tell you whether it's there's an SSR if it's got short sale restriction, it's a HTB if it's hard to borrow, an S if it's shortable. There's a little letter. You just hover over that, and it will tell you exactly whether it's shortable or not, whether there's shares to borrow or not, etc. So yeah. And if you wanted to locate them, you go into trades and then locate shares. Increasing your short, yeah, possibly in the same place. Trade on one. So if you locate shares, it will tell you how many shares you've got to in that exact same. You click on that S next to the level up, level down, and it will tell you how many shares are available to short. Whether if it's easy to borrow, it'll tell you how many shares the broker's got to short. If it's hard to borrow but you've actually paid for them, it will tell you how many you've got available to short. Well, looks like GDC is, that was the dead cat bounce. That was your dead cat bounce, it looks like, possibly. If it gets back above to kind of 1150 or whatever it was here, 1150, rejected at 1150. If it gets back up to 1150, you might get a kind of a double bottom setup, but it looks like that was your dead cat bounce to me. The banks are absolutely hemorrhaging and vomiting. So Schwab is having a little bit of a bounce right now, but Schwab's one of the stronger ones. This went halt down into a gap up, and then it's pulling back again. So this is Western Alliance, back west, halted to the upside. Now testing $7. It's looking like a 694 resumption, which is pretty much where it's at right now. So it will probably resume and then pull back down again. So a little bit of a, again, dead cat bounce. I can see that some of these regional banks are probably going to get delisted or acquired again. FIDC is going to go bankrupt. NNOX. Yeah, there's a lovely large double bottom pattern there. Not got great volume today though. Calvus, I would say. We're lacking a little bit of volume on this. Is it me or is MGIH halted? No, it's just not. There's nobody trading it. HLP. Again, nobody. I'll take you in a minute, sweetie, okay? I've got the rest of the afternoon off, so we'll go for a nice long walk. And then NYSE. Now breaking. High of day, currently 1043. So if this gets over 1050, you stink. Why'd you stink? You were in that pond again yesterday. Marathon Digital is moving well, you say. Yeah, so again, there's an argument for a double bottom here, or an inverse head and shoulders with a very small head. No, there's an argument for double bottom there, and a move up. It's up at 930s. Let's have a quick look at I've not been monitoring crypto so much since I've cashed in my position. So yeah, I'm glad I did. But this is Bitcoin right now. So Bitcoin on the daily. Let's put this on the hourly, so we can actually see what we're talking about in your own time. Trading view. So this is actually Benzinga, not trading view, but you know, each to their own. So Bitcoin curling back up 28.5, way off the 30,000 that it went up to. So I am glad I got out up at the top for a profit. I don't think the retracement's done on Bitcoin, on crypto. I think there's worse to come, but that's the reason that Marathon Digital and Riot Blockchain are moving up, is because Bitcoin is moving up at the moment. It's pretty much all morning it's been pumping. So Bitcoin pumping means Marathon Digital, Riot platforms, I should say now, isn't it? And other Bitcoin-related stocks will be having another good day. I wouldn't say it's a banking crisis because I don't bank with them. You know, yeah, absolutely, Jack. It looks that could be very much the case there, Calvus. Let's have a look at some of these. Yeah, halted down again. So these banks are just absolutely vomiting. So Western Alliance halted down again. Now, is this a double bottom? Is it then going to rally and go to all-time highs? The answer is no, but you know, I can waffle like that. Back west also halted to the south side. What about our friends over at Charles Schwab? Charles Schwab is still Schwab didn't halt as much as in the Silicon Bank fiasco. Schwab didn't halt as much. 4709 is where the halt level is for Schwab. So it's probably just going to keep selling off. If Schwab keeps selling off, pretty much the other ones will as well. What about MCB? Where is it? MCB, is that halted? No. MCB is not doing as bad as the other ones. Can I check your question above? No, I don't have a video out there talking about it, but I've talked about it many times on this stream in the past, MK, and I probably will do again, just not today. So for those of you that just joined to see the small account challenge, it lasted one day, it failed, so we're going to reboot it and start again tomorrow. So we lost 366 off a $514 account. And how did that happen? Well, let's have a quick look at exactly how that happened. So first trade we took was we got 10%. We increased our account value by 10%. So we got 50 bucks. I took a trade for the break of $5, and then we got out for $5.25. And we managed to make $50 on that. So then we looked at Leju, and we got in break of highs up here, the break of $8, and it went into a halt, and then, which I wasn't too worried about. I figured that it would gap up, but as soon as I wasn't seeing any resumption numbers, I was fearing the worst, and it gapped down and then flushed all the way down, and I didn't even have to get exits. I got liquidated, so they liquidated my position. That's essentially the small account challenge take one failure. So let's see if we can do it tomorrow. We'll have a small account challenge take two tomorrow. Yeah, well, unfortunately, that's just the way it is, Calvis. And it's not just the US where the political elite and the corporations are selling out the country. That's a global thing. Wherever capitalism is rife, that's what happens. If you've not got if you don't live in a socialist state, and then corruption rules in most socialist economies. If you don't have a socialist economy, then capitalism is an abject failure. The idea is great, you know, the American dream, you can be what you want to be if you work hard enough. It's all BS. And the elite few garner the masses. So if you look at the global economy, the economic expansion over the last 10 years has gone to the top 5% of the global elite. The previous 10 years, we had the top 5% received 40% of the global economic expansion. So it was a little bit more balanced, but still 40% to 5% of the elite, and it's just been getting more and more imbalanced over time. So yeah. If you check the link in the description there, you can, the first link in. Actually, I'll whilst I've got this, I've been taking the dog out for a. I'll come to that in a second, Tom, and I will just do this laptop screen here. So. Why have I just put this up here? This is a very valid question, Tony. Why are you asking that for everybody that's already thinking it? Okay, so that's not what I'm looking for. That's what I'm looking for. Okay, so this is my Benzinga screen, okay? Don't worry about that. I'll come to that in a second. Okay, so this is my report, my dashboard. That's not what I'm looking for. I'll come back to that in a second. So if you go into the link, so this is for you, Amma. If you go into the description of this video that you're watching right now, you'll get all these links. And the first one is Day Trade with Tony, and that's where you can find it. So what I would say is I've added another link for you. Because right now, if you look at the Day Trade with Tony course, it depends on where you're located, but if you look at the Day Trade with Tony course, and you go down here, and you go to the pricing. It looks like you've got 100. It's going to cost 150. That's just because of where I'm located. Okay, just bear with me one moment whilst I pull up my VPN. Okay, I'm just pulling up my VPN here, wherever it is. So I'm just going to put my VPN to India. I did Brazil last time. I'm going to Bangalore, a low economy country, and just connecting to India. I'm not saying you should do this. I'm just saying it's an interesting little quirk when it comes to regionalization and localization. When it comes to, okay, so connected. Okay, so I'm connected to India right now. So this is the price. I'll just refresh this, and it goes to India, and you see 146 a month, and it gone down to 119 a month. So that's how much it. $119. So you can save $30 just by using a VPN. If you've not got a VPN, if you don't have a VPN, you can go down to the link here. I've put a link in there for Surfshark. It's one of the best VPNs out there. You can do exactly the same thing. You pick your location, VPN through a server in a low economy nation or a low value economy nation, Brazil, India, wherever that you think is like that, and you can. I'll show you something else right now. Okay, so let's go to Netflix, shall we? Netflix. Okay. How much does Netflix cost? So there we go. In India, I've got the prices here. So if you're looking, I could sign up to Netflix for 149 rupees. So work that out. How much are you paying for your Netflix? Same thing with Spotify. Because I'm connected to India right now. So Spotify premium subscription. Let's have a look. How much does it cost? I've got this one. Don't know why that's showing euros because I'm on. So if I look at this and individual for Spotify for 3 months for $9.99, 1 month for that. Let's just have a look at this and open it in an incognito window. It's probably because I've got a don't have an account. When I say I don't have an account, and I'm not going to do that, but Spotify. So here's Spotify, and you've got sign up for free. Where's the pricing? Spotify. Doesn't give you pricing, but you kind of get the gist, okay? Wherever if it's got cookies, obviously it'll go for you. So go through an incognito browser and you'll get a better price. Okay, so that's the link tree. Try Surfshark out. It's great. If you've not got a VPN, if you've got a VPN, use your VPN and you'll get a better price. But anyway, going back to what I was saying. So Day Trade with Tony, you can get access to the course here. $119. The link to this Day Trade with Tony is in the description. a monthly subscription. You get full access to the to the course, but also there is a value package where if you need the scanners, the Benzinga, the simulator, everything else, there's a discount package here I put together for you guys, which is the total trainer package. Okay, so check that out as well. Have a look at that. What else I've got in there? Benzinga. I've already covered what Benzinga is. So this is my Benzinga. How do I find stocks to trade? So this is Benzinga, okay? This is how I've got it set up every single day. This is my gap scanner. This is my momentum scanner. I've got a real-time scanner here, which is I can change based on this, whether it's 60 minutes, 5 minutes, over the last whatever. I've got my signals and alerts here. I've got real-time news here. So all of this coming through. This is my Benzinga. So check that out. And Trader View. So if you're wondering what Trading View is a charting tool. It's a fantastic charting tool. Go check that out. Dash Trader is the platform. But if you wanted to learn to trade, then come and join the community. And if you sign up for the course, you get access to the daily to the private Discord as well, which is a forum that we've got a whole bunch of traders in there that have learned how to trade, or have either learned from me or are part of the community because they're already they've already learned to trade previously, etc., etc. So yeah, that's exactly right, Alistair. I use my VPN to watch, depending on where if the football's not on the reg Sky channels, I'll watch it. I'll use the VPN so I can watch it on one of the other channels. Absolutely. Alistair, shut up. Fourth time I've blown up my account. It is the fourth time I've blown up an account, but I said this last week on Friday. When I was doing my trade recap on Friday, I said there's a high chance I could blow up the account because it's going to be extremely difficult. I said it again yesterday. So that I probably shouldn't have said that at the time. It's a premonition, I guess. And let's cut that out. I suppose the good thing about me trying this small account challenge is that if you have tried to grow a small account and blown up your account, just know that's normal, and I've just proved it there. Trading with a small account, the majority of people get notions, and they'll see me trading with a huge account of like 300,000. Last Friday, before the end of last month, I had over $300,000 in my account. Well, close to $400,000 in my account, and it's easy to make money when you've got money. That's a well-known fact. But when you've got a small account, it's not that easy, because the percentage that gets taken off you in terms of commissions and charges is a lot higher, and you're at constant risk of getting liquidated, because you're effectively going in with risking the biggest portion of your account in order to make incremental gains. Now, in terms of risk management, you shouldn't be risking, in theory, you shouldn't be risking more than 3% of your account on any single trade. So what does that mean? If you've got a $500 account, which we'll start with $500 again. If you've got a $500 account, you shouldn't be risking more than like $15. Now, it's difficult not to risk $15 if you're taking a position and you need to cover those fees and charges. If you take 100 shares, if it moves back 15 cents, then you've lost $15. So you need to be very, very tight on your risk management, because the likelihood is you're going to be taking more than 100 shares, or you're going to be taking very tight risks. So you're going to be taking positions just as it's breaking out and hoping that it doesn't pull back at all, with very tight spreads as well. So the $500 challenge, first take one was a failure. We'll do take two. I'll see if we can get the account ready for take two tomorrow. I don't know if I've enough time. I've got plenty of time to get that transferred across, so there should be. We'll do take two tomorrow. It wasn't so much the halt level. I got in for the break of new highs and the break of the whole dollar. I waited for it to break the whole dollar, and I made the classic mistake of not checking the halt level. So I made the error of not checking the halt level before I got in. When it false halted, I had the opportunity to get out for a small profit, and I should have taken it, and that's my own fault. And Tom, how would I start trading today? If I had to do it all over again, I would start with a $5,000 account. I would save up enough, and I would start with a $5,000 account. I would use an offshore broker. You're getting 5-6 times leverage, but I'll be looking for a growth position of between 3 and 5% daily, and up until the point where I'm getting 500 a day, and then I plateau that, and I keep that goal of 500 a day. So once you get to 500 a day, that's a good earnings, and then just get that level of consistency. If you can get your size down, 5% daily is only because I'm experienced and I can do it. Look for $50 a day. If you can get $50 a day, consistent level of $50 a day, you do that for 3 months. Then you up and increase the risk, increase the rewards. You're looking then for $100 a day. And do that for 3 months, and then you slowly, whilst you're doing that, you don't withdraw from your account. You consider it as a hobby rather than an income. You don't withdraw from your account until you've got consistent gains, and the $100 a day is $500 a week. That's an extra $2,000 a month, and every time you do 3 months, that's an extra $6,000 for $100 a day. That's an extra $6,000 at the end of the 3-month period when you started with $5,000. So your first point was $50 a day, so that's $3,000 after the 3-month period. So you've now got $8,000 in your account on average, and then you do a $6,000. So after 6 months, where you started off with a $5,000 account, you've actually now got $14,000, and you can actually start looking at, okay, well, can I do $150? Can I do $200? Or whatever the scenario is? And you grow it incrementally, you grow it slowly. Don't be impatient with your growth, Tom. So absolutely. Anything under a $5,000 account, it becomes extremely difficult, which is why I was looking at $2,500. Every time I've done a small account challenge, it's been either $2,500 or above. $500 is an extremely difficult number because one halt. If this had resumed level, I would have had a chance to get out for a loss. It didn't. It gapped down hard. So the fact that it gapped down hard, and then once it resumed, it pulled. It did pull back up a little bit, but didn't give me an opportunity to get out. So and then it flushed down. So $500 isn't a realistic expectation to grow a small account. If you're looking to get into trading, if you're new to trading, you need more than $500. I would take, if all you got is $500, I would take that $500 and I would spend it on a good, solid education course, and say, well, most courses are going to cost you more than $500 anyway, unless you come to a day trade with Tony. But what I would do is I would get a simulator, subscribe to a simulator for 2 months, and get on a course, so on Day Trade with Tony as a course whilst you're in that simulator, and then keep saving up. So your $500 that's going to be by the wayside, but it's going to teach you how to trade. Anything less than $5,000, you're going to find it difficult. Simple. Why is the SPY selling off? Have you not seen the banks crashing? Yeah, so the banks are halted again to the downside. Another halt to the downside. This is blood in the water. The sharks are taking over. Blood in the water for sure. Yeah, well, if the problem that we've got, if the banks are all going to be failing, then the Fed's going to have to bail them out. The FDIC is going to, FIDC, whatever. FDIC is going to have to bail them out, which is going to come out of the Fed funds, the central bank. And as much as they like to think they can just keep printing money like they did during the pandemic, they can't. This is why the petrodollar is going to fail. Since the dollar is no longer backed by gold, they can't just keep printing money on the basis that it is the reserve currency of the global reserve currency, because it just won't last. It's just not sustainable. $2.5K you can do it, but I wouldn't do $2.5K if you're a newbie. $2.5K you can do it, but you have to be very cautious. I've done it with $2.5K, but I'm experienced. 5K gives you that little bit of wiggle room. You would trade the same kind of sizes with both 5K and 2.5K, but you'd be a bit more aggressive with 2.5K. You have to be more aggressive. I don't have to, Crispy. That's the whole point. So I'm doing the small account challenge because I'm taking a step back. Getting myself in a decent mental space, Crispy. So right at the moment, of the last probably 6 to 8 weeks, I've been having a few mental issues, and I need to get back to myself and not be putting my pressure on. So the fact that I've had two almost back-to-back, but Thursday and yesterday, two of my big, well, not two of, my two biggest ever trading days has given me, I'm looking at that as that's given me a cushion to be able to take that step back. I don't have to worry about my annual goals. I'm way ahead of goal that I can actually take that step back without actually just disappearing into the sunset for a couple of weeks. More inflation, more interest rate increases, more, yeah. See, I don't know if these banks keep failing like this, the interest rates might need to be paused, because that's where it's all come from. The poor management of the banks, coupled with the higher interest rate, which means that the bonds that they've invested in are practically worthless, which means that their asset balance sheet won't cover the deposits that they've had. It's a domino effect, and the big banks are kind of rubbing their hands. The JPMs and First National and all these big banks are all rubbing their hands, saying, "Okay, who can we get at a rock bottom price, and we'll just buy up all of these deposits and own the US banking sector amongst 3-4 banks or whatever." Are they going to raise the interest? It's factored in. It's factored in. I think no. FRC got acquired by JPM. JP Morgan. JP Morgan has bought FRC. No, absolutely, Alistair, and I think I deserve it. It's been since the turn of the year. It's been very up and down. It's been tough mentally, and this is what I would say to anybody thinking of getting into day trading. First thing I would say to you is don't. Okay, But the second thing is, it's like any other profession. You're going to have ups and downs, and it can be quite a lonely profession as well. So it's going to be mentally taxing. It is stressful. It's risky. It's stressful. You're not going to be able to get in there, make the Lambo lifestyle that you see on TikTok and Instagram is fantasy. It doesn't exist. So people who are making good money trading don't do that. They don't waste the money on frivolities like that. You know, it's the Lambo lifestyle. Why would you buy, you know, your Andrew Tates and stuff with his Bugattis and stuff and what have you? And most of those Bugattis, he doesn't even own himself. They're owned by his company and whatnot. So look, let's call a spade a spade. It's marketing, and it's clever marketing. Yeah, there's a triple bottom or head and shoulders, possibly. I wouldn't say so. I think it's I think we're going to enter a bit of a range here now. Funnily enough, this is Western Alliance, and I drew these lines on when it was last down here at this time. So I think, yeah. What happens to the FRC stock if you own any? You lose money, is quite frankly. Yeah, Alistair, that's what you need to do. Just reset, and that's what I'm doing. I've been fortunate enough that I've not had that kind of drawback. Well, I did have that drawdown last Monday, and I've come back stronger for it. But that reset, both mentally and just emotionally as well, because to be fair, trading is extremely emotionally taxing. Mentally taxing, yes, but it's also emotionally taxing. The amount of emotions that you have to deal with on a daily basis while you're trading, it's not easy. So yeah. Oh, would you stop? No, I'm not taking any vacations because I'm going to be taking a vacation when I actually relocate. So it won't be a vacation; it'll be relocation, and then every day I'll be a vacation because I'll be in the tropics, I'll be in the sunshine, with living the life that I keep telling everybody is marketing. Yes, and I will, Bams. I'll take a look at QH. Sorry, I've taken so long to do so. I was just waffling. You know, look. At the end of the day, I'm a spoonful. I'm a thick guy on the internet with an opinion. Don't mind me. So Chuyu, I've been told by authority that it's pronounced Chuyu. So Chuyu is up at 360s, testing 360s. It's double topping here, so wait for it to break highs. I would wait for this to break highs right now. Maybe get to 370 before I got in on this one. The pull, you missed the entry there, which would have been 355. But up at 360s, double topping, you might have got 10 cents from the entry at 355, 350. Break of the $0.50. So you got the pullback, new high here at 350. You would have got 10, 12 cents, I guess. Current high of day 63. You're a glutton for punishment, Alistair. No, it's not, Daniel. So Turks is actually breaking lows. So it's hemorrhaging. It's below the VWAP right now. It just went below the pre-market high as well. So this is, I'd say more head and shoulders-ish. Shoulder, head, shoulder, or triple top, which is bearish for a pullback. Rather than a double bottom. I mean, I can see the argument for the double bottom, but this is more triple top-ish. Favorite pattern, Willy Wonka, is bull flags. They're the most common bullish pattern that you're going to get, particularly in a breakout. Bull flags are great because what you get is a nice solid move up, bull flag setup, the breakout, and you've usually got a nice measuring stick on the first pullback, the first bull flag. A good measuring stick for your profit take as well, and it usually works out. Bull flags every day of the week, probably my best, my favorite setup. However, most reliable setups probably from a bullish point of view is probably an inverse head and shoulders. From a bearish point of view, the head and shoulders, or a triple top, triple bottom. That's probably one of the most reliable patterns that I've found to trade. Double bottoms are good because I'm long biased. You like trading into a resistance level. So if you get an ascending wedge into a flat top on the break of that resistance, so this is where your reading of the level 2 is key. If you're every time you're tapping that resistance level in a flat top, you're watching the level 2 because you've got a resistance, usually got a resistance wall that's preventing you breaking out. But if you're watching the level 2, you see the orders thinning out. And that's when, if you're watching the volume coming in as well at the same time, you see the orders thinning out, and that's when you know when to push the button. Just as the orders are about to break above that, you can also see if there's any additional orders above that that are going to prevent it from breaking out as well. So a flat top into an ascending wedge into a flat top is usually a good bullish pattern to trade as well. So yeah. You want me to take a look at FANG for you? Phoenix New Media up at 350s. Yeah, the volume's not great on this. It's like only 900,000 shares traded all day. It is up quite well, but the volume's not great. So it's breaking out now. So it's got over 350. You got a good 10 cents on the 350 break if you did. How come Turks didn't halt? When on this flush down? Because it's past the halt. So the tolerances for halts are different throughout the course of the day. So for the first 30 minutes, the percentages are less. Daniel. Then for the next hour, so from 10 till 11, the percentages are a little bit wider, but then after that, so between 11 and 3 or 2 or whatever it is, I can't remember the actual the cutoffs. But between 11 and 3, the percentages that they have to move or gain or lose before it's halted are a lot more than it would be in that first 30 minutes. So the first 30 minutes is the most volatile moment of the market. So they know that you're going to get big moves, so that they have tighter thresholds for volatility halts. Seiko. Sekou Holdings. So Sekou Holdings got good, reasonable volume coming through. I don't know what the average volume is on a daily. But over $1.50 could be interesting. Okay, it's 4 p.m. my time, so it's 11 a.m. Market time. I'm going to take the dog for a walk. I'm going to wrap it up and go buy the dog. I've got no treats for the dog, which is why I wasn't harassing you to tap the screen on TikTok. So I need to go and buy some dog treats. So I'm going to yeah, but it's still the bounce. Lex it might be halted to the upside, but it's still underneath the VWAP. So this one right now, you need to wait till this is at least 175. It needs to get above the VWAP and close above the VWAP. it's looking like it's going to resume level, so this halt up might not sustain either. So wait for it to get back above the VWAP, and then it might start being a bit more bullish. I'm too risky to trade to the upside until it's over the VWAP. Anyway, I'm going to Neath, go for it. Go for it. I'm going to end the stream, and I will be back at it tomorrow. If I'm not, I'm going to be resetting the small account, so I've got to transfer some money in, so I've got to do that now. And then if that should clear fairly sharpish. If it doesn't, then we'll reset the small account for Thursday, and I'll trade the main account tomorrow. I'll be back at it now before the market opens either way. That's 8:30 market time. It's 1:30 my time, UK, whatever. And I'll see you all then. I'll be dropping a catastrophic trade recap later today. And so be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel so you get notified when I do that. And I'll see you guys all tomorrow. Do I still stick over the $2 rule for a small account challenge? Yes, I do. Because, okay, let me just answer this real quick. It's a very good question, Neath. If I stick if I don't stick to the $2 rule, the chances of me getting faked out are more. But it's the issue around commissions and charges on the small account. So if I've got $500 and I get a stock that's a dollar, let's say LXCH is right now $1.50. Okay, it's just resumed. So $1.50, I can take 300 shares. So if it moves 10 cents, that's $30 that I've made on that 300 shares. But for this to move 10 cents, it's got to move a bigger percentage than something at $5. So, and there's a higher likelihood that I'll get faked out on it. So I've got to take bigger size without the knowing that I've got a so the average true range on this right now is 8 cents. Whereas something on a $5 stock that's got momentum, the average true range might be 20 cents. With a 1 or 2 cent spread or whatever, 2 cents on the spreads as well on this. So it's another way of trying to mitigate risk. I got hit with a nasty flush, a nasty gap down after a halt today. My own fault for getting greedy and going and chasing momentum when I could have walked away 10% up with a 10% growth on my account base. Now, if you're going to grow your account per trade, if you can grow your account per day 10%, just do the math. It doesn't take a genius to work out that by the end of the month you've got a nice healthy growth over the course of a 20-day trading month. So 10%, fantastic. I should have walked away with that, and that's just myself just being a little bit too aggressive, and I got punished for it. So $500 in a small account is a very difficult thing to do, but we'll try again tomorrow or Thursday. We'll see. We'll see how quickly it gets replenished. I should be able to transfer from one to the other, so it should be fine. No worries, Calvis. Okay, all the best. Good luck, Bams. I hope Arsenal do win the. I don't. Arsenal winning the league. I'd rather Arsenal win the league than Man City, but I'm not sure I could take the smugness of Piers Morgan. I mean, that would be torture in its own right. So now we're getting to a level here. So just my opinion on this right now, if I was to trade anything below $2, I'd be drawing a little horizontal here at the previous swing high on this level, and that will be my breakout level I'm looking at, 185. So 185, test $2, take some profit there. Then there's a bit of a gap fill that's needed. So you've got a window here between 195 and $2. So the 5-cent window that needs to be filled, and yeah, that's what I've been looking for with this one. So break of this level, and I've been looking for 205 or $2. Okay, I'm going to wrap it up. You guys Come back tomorrow and we'll do it all again. Take it easy. Why is this not? Yeah, there you go.